Greetings, 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 royal family, friends, and followers. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. All right. So, I got a couple of things, a couple of hot topics that I want to give my opinion on. Okay. Um, so yeah, let's just get straight into it. All right. So, without further ado, let's get into our first topic. I like to get straight to business. Okay. Wiz Khalifa, famous rapper, famous song, Black and Yellow, Black and Yellow, heavily endorsed by Snoop Dogg. He was married to Amber Rose. They had two children together. Very famous guy, for those of you who have no idea who Wiz Khalifa is, right? So he has been trending. Why? Because he's facing up to 9 months in jail, okay? So he was at a festival, concert, show, whatever it was, in Romania. This was back in July 2024, right? So while he was on stage, he was doing what he does. He was taking a couple of them to the head. He was chiefing, okay? And he also had about 18 grams, is being reported, of that sticky icky on his person. So this is a violation to the law over there in Romania, okay? So he was on stage and he was smoking pretty much. So at first, he was fined about, I guess, the equivalent of like 800, 900 US dollars. Now, years later, a year and some change later, they're saying that he has to serve jail time, which is crazy. All right. So the Court of Appeal later convicted Wiz of possession of dangerous drugs for personal consumption. The ruling is final. A lower court had originally fined him about $830, but prosecutors appealed and pushed for the harsher sentence. So he's in the United States. I don't think that he's going to be required to go back over to Romania. If he happens to go back to Romania for whatever foolish reason, he basically could be jailed. I'm hoping that they can sort this out. He said that he wants to go back overseas, over to Romania, for whatever reason. So if he does, it looks like if he doesn't go back, he won't be jailed. But if he decides to go back for whatever reason, if he books a show there or has an appearance there, he can get nabbed. Um, I think that's kind of interesting. I wonder if he's going to get his $830 back. I mean, he paid the fine, but for whatever reason, the prosecutors wanted to push for him to get a harsher sentence. Here's what I don't understand. It is 2025, about to be 2026, okay? You're traveling out of the country. You know that you do you have your recreational use of whatever substance you choose to use. Wouldn't it be wise for you to learn the laws of the land wherever you're going? Even if you're traveling within the United States, it's wise for you to learn the laws of the land in certain states that you go to. That's what I would think, especially if you're a black man. Okay, that's number one. And you're going to be partaking in mood altering substances. The wise thing to do, or no one in your camp researched this. They know that you're a heavy toker. So why wouldn't they research this? Unless they did and you didn't care, or maybe you were under the assumption that, oh, all they're gonna do is fine you. You can't get jail time for weed. Well, listen, everybody should have learned from what's her name? Brittany Renner? Is that her name? I don't think that that's her name. What's that girl name that went overseas and she had a vape and she was smoking? She was vaping overseas, and she went to jail. Listen, you have to be very, very careful. A lot of these countries outside, a lot of these countries don't like Americans. They absolutely despise, detest Americans. If you travel outside of the United States, you will understand. If you travel frequently, you will get to understand that these other countries or these people outside of the United States look at Americans because American people have this arrogance about them. You know what I mean? That they can go anywhere and do whatever they want. It's the type of arrogance where you'll go to Italy, for instance, and get mad because the people in Italy don't speak English. It's that American ignorance, and a lot of people carry that to other countries. So I wish him nothing but the best. Good luck. That'd be a stupid reason for you to serve 9 months in jail, in a Romanian jail. Child, speaking of jail. Up next, Willie Ray Norwood Jr. I just don't know about Ray J, and I'm starting not to care. I'm starting not to care. So what is going on with Brandy's brother? So he appeared in court last week, right? And a judge pretty much extended a domestic violence no contact restraining order that's going to keep him away from his children that he has with Princess Love. They have 2 children together. He's going to be away from his children on Christmas, and he's going to miss his son's upcoming birthday, okay? So he also, Ray J, must surrender all of his weapons, and the ruling pretty much stems from allegations tied to a Thanksgiving incident involving his estranged wife, Princess Love. Ray J did not enter a plea and is expected back in court on January 2nd. So I don't know if you guys saw the video that was circulating when he and Princess, he was on live. I think he was on Twitch. He was on live. Ray J was strapped, had it in his waist for whatever reason. Okay. I don't think that we, the public, know the entire story. And Princess was, she was taking her kids. Princess and her cousin's boyfriend were there at Ray J's house. Princess claims that she wanted her kids to have a nice Thanksgiving. She was over there cooking dinner with her cousin and her cousin's husband. The kids were asleep upstairs. She decides to take the kids. They got into an argument, I guess. She takes the kids. Ray J is telling Princess's cousin's husband, "You ain't taking my kids nowhere." According to Ray J, Princess, the cousin, and the cousin's husband or whatever, they were under the influence, okay? And he didn't think it was a wise idea for them to be driving at late in the midnight hour with the children in the car. So he's saying, no, you can leave the kids here and you can go. Here's what I'm going to say. Both Ray J and Princess are problematic. I have given commentary on Princess and Ray J years when they had that sit down on Zeus Network, okay, when Zeus Network was fairly new. And I remember being heavily criticized in the comments about not taking up for Princess. Absolutely not. Princess is just as problematic as Ray J. They're both problematic. And again, we don't know the entire story. At this point, the thing that pisses me off the most is that these children are subjected to both of their toxicity. Okay, it's a hostile environment. Princess was holding, I think it was her daughter. Ray J was yelling. Princess was yelling. It was a lot of tension. It was just too much aggression. And the daughter just had her head tucked in her mother's shoulder, not even flinching, not even crying, almost as if she's accustomed to this level of dysfunction. So this is a video of Ray J leaving the courthouse. Whack 100 is there, and this girl, whatever her name is, who he's prancing around as his girlfriend, she's there as well. Let's take a look and a listen.
Court, how do you feel about what the judge said and what she ordered?
Man, I don't want to talk about it.
Do you think it was a fair call by the judge?
This is America. We be all right. We be all right. I see my kids. Christmas, my son's birthday.
You're going to miss the birthday, you're going to miss Christmas now. Ray, separately, are you and Sheila now an item? Are you together, you guys?
What'd you say?
Ray and Sheila, are they together? Are they a couple?
Where your wife at? Is your wife the milkman?
Oh.
I'm asking some dumb questions, man. Bro, nephew. Bro. You talking about your wife?
Ray, that was pretty hard.
I can't. Not him asking him where his wife is at. So this is the video where they get into the altercation on live stream. All I wanted to do was have a good Thanksgiving. That's what Princess says. And this also got him banned on Twitch. I think it was this.
Right, you just
Drive
pointed,
drunk.
You just pointed a gun.
Drive drunk.
Ray J Princess accuses Ray J of pointing a weapon at her. And he's saying that Princess is drunk.
Take my kids then. Go ahead. Who's gonna drive? Tony, he's been drinking
I'm not
too.
driving.
Who's been driving? Everybody. I didn't point
us.
nothing at
You
y'all.
pointed a gun at us.
I didn't point.
All right. See, the daughter is awake. Look, she's just so unaffected by this. So Ray J's whole gripe was that everybody has been drinking and you're taking the kids and you're going to be driving. Listen, Princess is not innocent in this. We've seen many times they've gotten into altercations, they've gotten into arguments, and she is just as guilty as he is. I think that they're both toxic. That's Sheila from Love Cabin. Yeah, he's prancing her around, this Sheila girl as his girlfriend, and she's always crying. And The last interview that Ray J did on The Breakfast Club, Sheila was with him. It's ugh. Are they divorced? Are Princess and Ray J, they divorced? No, right? They're separated. I think they're still legally married, are they not? Oh my gosh. I can't. Let's see. He don't care about seeing them kids. He just mad he can't harass Princess. Do y'all think that? Ray J is not even trying to be funny and still is. Something about this walk, the sig, and earring is sending me. I can't. This man is naturally funny. Double dangly earrings is agreed. You know what? Nobody's taking this situation seriously. I do. I feel sorry for the kids, man, because they have to grow up in this dysfunction. But you know what? Ray J is, I still think that he's a slave to social media. I think that he has to document all of this foolishness to stay afloat. It's kind of like some sort of like sick, deranged arrangement with the powers that be. I don't know. I've said it before, but who knows? Because you ask yourself, why the heck does he do some of the things that he does? And he always has to record it. All right. We're on the subject of problematic males. Okay, you see the trend in this video. Up next is Tory Lanez. Okay, that's his stage name, legal name Daystar Peterson. So he sat down with NBC and he did an interview. Okay, Tory Lanez is still fighting for his freedom. Now, I can understand somebody being in jail wanting to fight for their freedom. That's not abnormal. What I think is crazy is I just feel like Tory Lanez is just not smart. I've been saying this from before his trial. I've been saying this before he started serving time, while he's been in jail. It's just been time after time after time where he is just displaying how he's not handling things properly. I don't think that this interview was a good idea. I'm not against somebody fighting for their freedom and wanting to get out of jail. I'm not against that. I don't think he's crazy for that, right? But let's get into the video and then I'll share some of my thoughts, okay? I just like to point out that the code switching in this video, this is Daystar Peterson that you're going to see. This is not Tory Lanez. Like to hear it? Here you go.
Tonight, rapper Tory Lanez breaking his silence in his first ever broadcast interview from behind bars since being found guilty of shooting Grammy winner Megan Thee Stallion in the foot outside a party in 2020.
I've never been violent towards a woman. I would never hit a woman, let alone shoot a woman.
Lanez, whose real name is Daystar Peterson, spoke to NBC News from California Men's Colony, a prison where he's 3 years into a 10-year sentence after being found guilty on 3 felony counts, including assault with a semi-automatic firearm.
All right, let's pay attention to the charges because people are still confused as to what Tory Lanez was charged for. He's been in jail, for 3 years. You see how time flies by? All right.
Firearm.
There is definitely a very big misconception about me that seems to the public as I'm this monster. And I feel like I was catapulted into this poster child for the unprotection of Black women. And it's just so unlike me. And I've never really had a chance to express that. But you can look at my criminal record. I don't have one. I never had one. And I feel like, that connotation that I would do anything of this monstrous proportion is completely incorrect and it's wrong.
Lanez declined to testify during his 2022 trial.
Do you regret not taking the stand?
I think if I would have taken the stand, the verdict would have definitely been very different.
The rapper's legal team filed an appeal, which was denied in November. But his team is continuing to fight, with plans to file multiple appeals next week, this time with the California Supreme Court, in one claiming newly discovered evidence that they weren't provided during Lanez's 2022 trial, including hundreds of pages of medical records for Megan Thee Stallion, whose real name is Megan Pete, which they allege raise questions about the fragments removed from her foot after surgery. His team argues that the fragments were not provided ahead of trial and that this was a violation of due process.
And we didn't have that chance. Or perhaps we could have questioned the doctors differently when they were on stand to impeach them, because it does look suspicious.
But in the appeal denied in November, the court did address the fragments, ruling that the surgeon's testimony was, quote, more than sufficient to prove great bodily injury on Pete. Proving something like this on appeal is tough.
This is a really, really difficult appellate argument for defendants to prove, because they have to show if the evidence actually came into court, the jury would have found differently. It's an uphill battle, and it's something that often torpedoes any defense appellate argument.
The Los Angeles District Attorney.
Now, present day, I did see that TMZ posted an article where Tory Lanez is continuing his fight for his freedom, and he wants somebody to look at his case. I think they're trying to push for like a retrial. Anyway, the alleged doctor that allegedly performed the surgery on Megan the night of this incident apparently is MIA. They can't find him. His information online is just like kind of like wiped. This is what they're saying per TMZ. So I think that's interesting.
Attorney's office and representatives for Megan Thee Stallion have not responded to NBC News' request for comment.
I believe not only that I was wrongfully convicted, but the amount of new evidence that has emerged since that trial, I think, has been overwhelming.
What has life been like in prison for the last couple of years?
Truthfully, I've done my best to keep my head above water, but mentally, I've gone through trauma that I sometimes even struggle with, because I never imagined myself dealing with things that I would have to deal with. I've been stabbed 17 times. Almost lost my life.
If you could say something to Megan Thee Stallion today, what would it be?
Now, this reporter, you is wild for asking him this. And I'm going to tell you why. Again, this is proof why I think Tory is not that wise, because he answered it.
I think that I wouldn't say something directly to her. I would like that moment to happen in person. We've both gone through a lot. There's this.
Now, why would you want to have a conversation with Megan in person? No matter how well spoken you're coming across in this video, Daystar. See what I mean? Like, where's his lawyer? His lawyers are encouraging this? All right.
This connotation that, like, I share this hatred for her, but I don't. I genuinely passed that. I'm at a place of healing in my life. I'm at a place of taking accountability for the things that I did wrong. And when I talk about my case.
What did you do wrong? What did you do wrong? You're not saying what, you don't even want to say what happened. You don't even want to, you didn't take the stand. Oh boy.
I don't want it to be taken as me coming at her, because it's not that. I'm just asking for somebody in the system to look at my case and look at the evidence and ask if this was fair.
And with that, Chloe Malas joins us now on set. So, Chloe, Tory Lanez is also seeking a pardon from Governor Gavin Newsom.
That's right. His legal team has filed the necessary paperwork, and it is before the governor now. So they're seeking either a pardon where his criminal record will be wiped clean, he would be released from prison, or to have his sentence commuted, meaning that the time he has served is sufficient, and release him, but that doesn't change his criminal record. As for when this could happen, the governor typically does these twice a year, so this could happen before the new year.
All right. Chloe.
All right, y'all. So what are your thoughts? Let me tell you what I think. First and foremost, that he holding up. He holding up. He look refreshed. He looked like he getting some rest, you know. People in the comments were saying that his whole hairline looks good. His hair does look good. I mean, compared to what we've seen in the past, he looks like he's holding up. Another thing is, this is what ticks me off with this guy, okay? I'm not on oh, he did it or he didn't do it, or Meg lying or she telling the truth. Guess what? I'm taking the stance that I took back when this initially happened. I think it was in 21 it happened, right? 2021, 2020, whatever. I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. I'm literally, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. I don't know what happened. I'm not going to pretend to know. I'm not going to give conspiracy theories. I'm not doing none of that, right? But what I will say is he has not been moving smart since this whole incident happened. Okay? You didn't want to talk about or tell what happened because you didn't want to be considered a snitch, right? So you wanted to operate by the code of the streets or the thug rules, right? So when people don't want to snitch and they want to operate by this thug book 101, they sit in jail. You are a fool. I would have been singing like I was performing at Aretha Franklin's homegoing service. You hear me? If it meant my freedom. That's me. Okay? You had ample opportunity to speak up and say what happened, and you chose not to because again, you rather be a thug that don't snitch than protect your safety, than worry about your safety. To me, that's dumb. That's absolutely positively dumb. And people still think to this day that Megan Thee Stallion was the one that pressed charges on Tory and took him to court. She was not. It was the state of California. Megan Thee Stallion didn't press any charges on anybody. Right? But I just think that Tory Lanez, whatever you're going to do at this point, just let your lawyers continue to basically rob you blind, because these set of lawyers are doing the same thing that your previous lawyers did, and that's robbing you blind. Robbing you blind. And it's unfortunate, but a lot of them, all they care about is the money. You've been screwed over by your lawyers before trial, during trial, and now these appellate lawyers that you have, or whatever, trying to work on your appeal. I don't think they're doing you justice, but we shall see. And good luck. If you would have taken a stand, yes, your outcome probably would have been different. But again, you wanted to be a thug. You didn't want to snitch. If Little Kim can sit in jail because she ain't want to snitch, why can't you? Take the L, my guy. You wanted to be a thug. So you should have got on the stand and told. Sorry. I'm just saying. But that is my opinion, and that's the mild version of my opinion. I can go on and on about how Tory Lanez is moving real weird. And you know another thing that I wanted to point out? I was in court during the Megan Thee Stallion versus Milagro Graham's trial, and they played the deposition from Tory Lanez's father. They played a little bit of academics deposition, and they played the deposition videos from Tory Lanez when they tried to depose him 2 separate times. And when I tell you that this Tory Lanez is completely different than the Tory Lanez that was in the deposition, because they deposed him because they wanted to know. Megan's legal team was questioning him about his relationship with Milagro. And when I tell you that he told the lawyers where they can suck and what they can do with this deposition, he was totally out of control and disrespectful from beginning to end. Walked off, said, I don't give a, if you find me, I'll pay the $20,000. F you, suck this, suck that. And I'm just like, it's, what the? So this is a complete 180. That was Tory Lanez in that deposition. This is Daystar Peterson, honey. So this interview was very interesting to watch. And I wish that deposition video, I don't know if it's public, if his deposition video was public, but it was complete 180, complete opposite of what we see before us. So ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think, okay? Drop down in the comments. Share your thoughts about Ray J, Wiz Khalifa, and Tory Lanez. Have you been keeping up with this Tory Lanez story? Are you keeping up with all things Ray J? What do you think about Ray J constantly being on social media, just cutting up and acting up, okay? All right, y'all. Look forward to your thoughts and opinions in the comments section. I'm signing off, but I will be back soon. I love you for watching, and I will talk to you later.